Hey, remember me? I'm in the exact same spot as I was last week. In fact, I'm doing one video right after the other, mainly because I'm all set up, and these are two talkies that I wanted to cover some things. The big thing I want to cover is what has Marvy and I learned over the last 2 years of living in a van. And there's quite a big list of the different things that we have learned. And probably because most of you have seen Nomad Land with Francis McDormand, Bob Wells, and everybody else, a lot of nomads in that movie. You see a lot of things, and if you know Bob Wells, and we get along great. I like Bob, he likes me, we've interviewed each other. But one of the things that Bob really focuses on, and all of those folks, are the tribal aspects. Now, in the big picture of tribalism, yes, we are nomads, full-time nomads. So by definition, we belong to that tribe. However, Marvy and I, along with a lot of other nomads, don't really kind of gather in large groups. I run into people all the time that are in groups of 4 or 5, and they've been in that way for years, and they travel together in one family type environment. And I think, but again, there's a lot, if not the majority of nomads actually don't do that. We don't do that. Marvy and I, because we're a couple, we have company, we're not that lonely. We prefer just to meet people on the road, maybe share a campsite, or maybe hook up for a week or two with maybe 1 or 2 people, or 2 groups, a van and an RV, or a bus and a van, or a bus and a bus, or a van and a van, RV and RV. Whatever, but we don't, we are not huge socialites in large groups, organized groups. So that's one of the things that we have learned, and that's something that if you are a nomad, you already know the answer to that. If you haven't been on the road yet, that's something that you will find. And again, it's a continuum: extreme, 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 hermit, or social butterfly. You know, people are always somewhere in the middle. We're kind of a little bit left of center over there. Left hand, yeah, left is not political. God, you guys, left of center. Okay, just about over here. Stop that. Okay. Another thing which defies what a lot of things that Bob Wells loves, and a lot of people like him, is we're not too crazy about the desert. You know, I like the desert, but I think after 2 years of spending, the first year I think we spent 3 months, and then this year we spent almost 7 months. Way too long in the desert. Jackson King always is getting cactus in his face. We're constantly getting poked in the feet with needles. It's always windy, relentless wind, dust, dry, things like that. Yes, the sky's beautiful at sunset and sunrise, and I do like the desert, but if we go back and do desert again, it's going to be in a much smaller dosage of time than what we have been doing this year. I don't know, maybe Texas or maybe Florida we might try to winter in. So if anybody has any land anywhere where it's relatively warm in the summer, reach out to us privately. We'd love to talk to you about that. Okay, so let's get into some materialistic things here. What have we learned? If you have the money, the biggest thing I would suggest is getting at least 200 watts of power. Again, Santan Solar for $200. I bought a 400 watt, brand new, monocrystalline solar panel. And then if you can save up money before you get on the road and get at least 1,000 or 1,500 watt hours of lithium battery, or some kind of a charge controller. We have the EB150 by Blue Eddy. if you have those things, that kind of segues into the other thing. You have power. You don't have to worry about charging your phone, your computer, your iPads, running lights. And the biggest one for me is your refrigerator. Yeah, knowing what I know now, we lived for 2 years with a very expensive cooler and 65 quart cooler, and that cost us upwards in the summer $40 a month just for that. So 2 years doing it every month, you kind of do the math, you can see it gets pretty expensive. Once we had the power, we went ahead and spent some like $500 or about 10 or 12 months worth of ice on a refrigerator. And we did get one with a Danfoss compressor by Iceco. You can look back and we did a video on that. In fact, I'll put it up here so you can see it. Take a look at that. So if I could do it all over again, I would have made sure I had enough money for some power, and that could power dependably a good refrigerator. And it really makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so another thing I learned, which was tremendously helpful, was that for Marvy and I, we really had to reduce our spending. We really did. We're on a very tight budget. And thank you to our Patreon folks that support us on Patreon, or even watching a lot of our videos helps too, or going to PayPal. Its links are all on our website. You can go to our website at robinmarvy.com or look below. But we have learned, being on extremely limited income, we just can't go out and spend money on whatever we want. So we've learned to eat very healthy, but very affordably. And we do still go out. We go out to nice restaurants. It's just once every 3 weeks or 4 weeks, we may save up some money, get dressed up, go to Planet Fitness, clean up, put on some nice clothes, and go out and have a really nice evening. But most of the time, and the most important thing we learned was like, no, we just can't buy that. So if you are somebody who's going to hit the road, even if it's for a summer and you have limited income, you just got to learn to discipline yourself and learn how to shop, and competitively. Don't buy name brand, you know, even if you're getting medicines and things. Oh, okay, let's talk about that again. Another way to save money is, and insurance is, we are domiciled in Nevada. So technically we live in Nevada. Now, whether you have your regular health care or Medicaid, a lot of times it's restricted into your state. So what happens if you're traveling? Well, we get our we do all of our medical stuff before we leave Nevada, physical stuff, but all of our medications, which we can renew through our doctor, we renew them through Walmart. Now, if it's only like a blood pressure medicine, which is like 90 days for like 20 bucks, I'll just pay for it. If I'm in Colorado here, I'll just go to the Walmart, renew it, pay the 20 bucks. However, if you've got a medication that's $200, I can't afford that, but I just have them send it to my doctor, knows where my Walmart is in Nevada. He sends a prescription there. I call them up and have them send it to my mail messages and more in Pahrump, which is my mail service. It gets there, I call them up, and they ship it out along with my mail. Cost me about $6 or $8 in postage. $8, $200, you decide. Okay, so that's another way to conserve money, is to understand your medications or medical stuff and how do you manage that. Okay, so we did medication, we did food, all of that. Entertainment. Wow, well, you know, we have Verizon. Verizon's very good out here in the West. And unfortunately, I spend a lot of money. The most money, the biggest expense I have is on my Verizon, because I have my wife's phone with unlimited data, my phone with unlimited data, plus a very expensive hotspot, plus my iPad has a hotspot. So altogether, it's a lot, but it does qualify me for free Hulu and free Disney and stuff like that. So I have that. Plus we do pay whatever that is, $6 a month, something like that, for Netflix. And then I'm an Amazon Prime person, which costs me $5.95 because I have Medicaid. And if you have Medicaid, you can just take a picture of that, send it to them, look on their website, Amazon Prime, and they have a discount for people on Medicaid. Well, that also has Prime movies. So we've got 3 sources of movies. I also have on my hard drive probably about 200 movies and movie series. So when we can't get internet, we watch those. I also have audiobooks through Audible. I also have about 200 Kindle books, and I'm still buying them, and I haven't read them all yet. And we have a ukulele. So Marvy, I had a mandolin for a while because I play mandolin. I stopped doing that. I got a guitar, stopped doing that. And then, like I said in the last video, we finally bought an ukulele. So between all of those things, plus playing with Jackson, plus going hiking, plus going fishing, which also supplements our diet and keeps our costs down, we have all the entertainment in the world. And when all else fails, I just sit around and wait for my mustache to grow. And like I said, we do eat better too. We really stay away from all the canned stuff. I don't know how many nomads I have met that live on canned soup. Stop eating that crap. You know, I mean, I don't care whether you're a vegan, vegetarian, whole food, plant-based, a carnivore, a pescatarian, an herbivore, whatever you are. Get away from the canned food products. The sodium levels are ridiculous. Hold on. Okay, so I'm not going to harp on eating better, but you can live very economically, probably even more economically, by eating whole foods, more fresh produce and fruits and vegetables, making soups ahead of time, things like that. So I'm not gonna talk your ear off about that. And then finally, the last thing is, because we've always traveled around, the last couple of weeks we've really trying to save some money. I am very low on my emergency fund, so I don't really want to take the van anywhere right now where I'm very isolated. I want to minimize my driving. So another thing we've learned is that you can get by just fine in an urban setting. Maybe not New York, Chicago, LA, or San Francisco, but a lot of the smaller areas, you can get by. I mean, as far as sleeping, you've got, of course, now we see Walmarts all the time, and we've been spending the last couple of weeks at Walmarts, even though they have the signs that say no camping, violators will be towed, no overnights, blah, blah, blah. We drive around, and if we see like 5 or 6 or 7 campers set up, we figure, you know, it's kind of like school or fish that swim in a school. You know, there's a less of a chance that you're going to get singled out. And we have not had a knock on the door. Now, I'm not telling you should do that. I'm just saying for us, we have been very careful. And if we find Walmarts or stores that do have RVs and vans in them, at least 5, then we will probably park kind of in that school of vehicles, and we have not had a problem yet. The other thing is, we're still a very strong proponent of truck stops. A lot of people don't like truck stops, stay away from them. But we've never had a problem with truck stops. They're 24/7s. They have that bathroom for the middle of the night emergencies. And we usually, as in all places, we get up and we get out of there around 6 o'clock in the morning. We don't want to be high profile. Roll in at night, go to sleep, get up and leave. Leave it for everybody else. I mean, I was at a Walmart last night, and some guy had a van and he had his generator out with a power cord. You're an idiot. If you're the one watching this, you're an idiot, and you're ruining it for everyone else. Okay, run your generator during the day and apart, power whatever you need. If you're going to go to a Walmart, pull in late at night, go to sleep, get up and leave. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, and then the last place is non-residential areas. I think in Boulder, there's a place by a hospital, and we stayed there probably a total of about 7 or 8 nights on and off. And there's usually around 5 or 6 o'clock nobody there, but around by 9 o'clock at night you probably have about 10 vans kind of lined up on either side of the street. Last time we were there, I guess maybe a University of Colorado student went by about 5 in the morning on his bicycle yelling, "Wake up! Wake up!" Luckily I was already awake, so it didn't bother me. So anyway, those are some of the things we have learned about ourselves and about how to camp, and some suggestions for you. If you have any questions, if you're getting ready to hit the road, and you want to know more, ask down below. We'd be happy to answer your questions, okay? Until next week, we'll see you guys down the road.